Hi friends, it's the weekend and I thought let's go outdoors. We've all been sitting at home for a long time and I wanted to give you a glimpse that there is hope for all of us once COVID is open. So today I am being invited to a luncheon at a resort and I thought why don't I share two things. One is table setting skills and the other thing is table manners. Now, both these skills are very important. Many of you probably have attended workshops, presentations, conferences, and at a higher level in your organization, you might have also been invited for luncheons and dinners or more formal events with your superiors. And a lot of time what happens is when we go to these events, the first thing that really stresses us up is seeing the table setting, and we see all these plates and cutlery on the table and we wonder, oh my god, I hope I'm not going to embarrass myself. So understanding table setting and table manners is so important because it gives the other person the impression of your refinement. It also ensures that you don't look embarrassed in front of others with lack of knowledge. And third, it gives them an impression about your upbringing. So today we'll be covering two things in the restaurant. One is table manners and table setting. Now, what are table manners? Table manners are the basic rules that a person should follow while sitting on the table. It tells us, or the person next to you, that you respect sitting next to them. The other thing it shows about you is that you know how to behave in front of others on a table. So let's open the door and see what we have. We have this beautiful restaurant with an open-faced kitchen, a beautiful bar, and we have tables which have been set up for everybody. So let me start off with table manners. When you reach the formal table, don't plonk yourself on the chair. Wait for your host to indicate that we are ready to be seated. Only then sit down. You have the table napkin, which is right next to you on the left hand side. Place it on your lap. Don't open the entire napkin. Leave it half folded and place it on the nap. One common thing that is seen is many people end up tucking these napkins in their shirts. This is only acceptable if you're eating lobsters or a meal that is going to make your clothes dirty. Another thing that you can always remember is that don't lean your hands on the table. It's considered very rude. It's okay to lean your hands on the table in between conversations while waiting for your meals, but not while eating. Your hands should always be at a level up while you cut it. When your meal arrives, don't dig in. It's considered very rude that you haven't waited for the others to be served. In a formal setting, your host will actually tell you that we are ready to start eating, and that's when you start. Now, in order to indicate to your server that you're still eating, you can place your fork and knife side by side, like this. And in order to show that you have finished your meal, you can place it together, like this. One behavior which is considered very rude and inconsiderate towards your fellow diners is having your cell phone beeping away. So always remember, in a formal setting, put your phone on silent. And if you really have to attend that call, excuse yourself politely from the table and leave, attend the call and come back. I have two different table settings for you today. I will go with a simple one which you'll probably very commonly see. This is a basic table setting. You have the plate in the center. You'll always have the fork on your left hand side and the knife and the spoon on your right hand side. The baby spoon on top, it's basically your dessert spoon, and you'll always have the glass on your right hand side. Now when you see a complicated setting like this, you will be wondering, oh my god, which fork am I supposed to use, which glass is for the water, what's the extra knives on the side. So let me tell you one by one what each of them are. So the basic rule that you must always remember is start from the outside in. The second rule you can remember is always start with the cutlery closest to you and then go backwards. Now, let's see what each of them are. So when you start, you have your napkin which needs to be placed on your lap, and you have the salad fork. On the other side, you will actually find a smaller knife too, which is also can be used for your appetizers. And this is a spoon which is placed either for your appetizers or for your main course. For your main course, you will always start with a bigger knife and the bigger fork. The small plate on the top is for your butter and bread. And we also have a butter knife with it. When you reach the table, you might find 3 different glasses on the table, and that can be quite confusing for a person who's used to having only 1 glass on the table. So do remember, the one that is right next to the plate is usually the glass goblet. The taller goblet is always the red wine goblet, and the shorter goblet is used for the white wine. So this is how you know which glass is for the red wine, which glass is for the white wine, and which glass is for the water. Lastly, you'll also find a dessert spoon which is put parallel on top of the main plate. So today I have shared with you 2 different styles of table setting. One is the basic style and the other one is the more complex, detailed style of setting your table. So my dear friends, today I have shared with you a little bit about table manners and about table etiquettes and table setting. I hope each one of you had something to take away from my video. I'm sure when COVID is gone, we'll all be back in the office and things will be back to normal. And then when you're invited to a formal dinner by your boss or a colleague, you will know how to behave and have all the skills in order to rock that meal. Having the skills of table setting is something that will always take you a long way.